Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing 11 tips to help you manage your acid reflux naturally. In case you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Marissa, and I'm a pharmacist and health coach. And here on my channel, I share about all things relating to gut health to not only help you improve your digestion, but your overall health and wellness as well. So if you are interested in this topic, then definitely consider subscribing to my channel. And now on to today's video. So acid reflux is so common in our society, and you most likely have experienced this at least once in your life, or maybe you deal with it chronically every day of your life. I want to first briefly explain what acid reflux is, just in case you don't know. So if you haven't seen my How Digestion Works video, then I will link that up above for you to take a look at. But your digestive tract consists of several organs, including your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, and then your waste is ultimately excreted from your body. Okay, so now we are going to focus in on the upper portion of your digestive tract, which consists of those organs from your mouth to the beginning part of your small intestine. So the process of digestion really begins in your mouth, and you have chemical and mechanical digestion taking place there. So in your mouth, you have salivary enzymes that will start carbohydrate digestion, and your teeth will start chewing, and that will start mechanical digestion. Now, when you swallow your food, it will then enter your esophagus, which is a big muscular tube that connects your mouth to your stomach. And at the base of it, you have what is called a sphincter, specifically referred to as the LES, or the lower esophageal sphincter. And in that other video that I talked about how digestion works, I said to think of it like a door. So I'm going to use that analogy here as well, just to keep everything consistent. So think of it like a door that separates your esophagus from your stomach. Okay, and its major function is to prevent stomach and intestinal contents like stomach acid, pepsin, pancreatic enzymes, bile, etc., from regurgitating back into the esophagus. Now, if it does that, then that problem is called reflux. The problem with reflux is that your esophagus is not designed to house those contents, and over time, damage to the esophageal lining may occur. And therefore, that is the reason why you want to figure out ways to manage your reflux. Your stomach and intestines actually have protective mechanisms in place that will help ensure that damage from your stomach acid does not occur, as long as everything is functioning properly. There are a lot of different factors out there that can contribute to the development of either short-term or long-term acid reflux. I am not going to go into all of those, but I did want to mention that. Some common symptoms of acid reflux include belching, heartburn, nausea, regurgitation, having a bitter taste in your mouth, feeling discomfort in your upper abdomen, or even having a dry cough. If you experience these symptoms long-term, like every week, then you may have heard the term GERD, which stands for gastroesophageal reflux disease, used at one point or another. These symptoms can range from feeling mildly uncomfortable to like really painful. And if you are experiencing really painful symptoms, it is super important for you to go and see a doctor to get those symptoms checked out. Heartburn can feel like chest pain, and because the symptoms can be quite similar, it is sometimes hard to distinguish whether or not it is just heartburn or if you're having angina or a heart attack. So if you are having persistent chest pain and you are not sure that it is just heartburn, then you do want to go ahead and seek immediate medical attention. Now we are going to start talking about how you can manage your acid reflux. So in case you didn't know, which I feel like most people do just because they're so readily available, but we have many medications available to help treat it. These drugs are prescribed all the time, and some of them are even available over the counter, which just means that you do not need a prescription in order to purchase them. All of that being said, while we do have these medications that you could use to treat your acid reflux, whether short-term or long-term, there are several things that you can do to help manage your acid reflux naturally, and you can even start implementing them right after watching this video. I have seen some individuals, after implementing these tips that I'm about to share, be able to either effectively manage their reflux without needing to take acid-reducing medications, while others who have medical reasoning to take these drugs indefinitely can also see benefits in their acid reflux symptoms as well. So regardless of whether or not you take acid-reducing medications, these tips can help you manage your acid reflux symptoms. Okay, so the first couple of tips have to do with food. Big shocker there. Who saw that one coming? So what you're eating, the amount that you eat, and how often you're eating. Okay, so tip number 1 is to be mindful of how you react and digest to different food products. Foods can actually trigger reflux symptoms. So examples include spicy foods, carbonated beverages like soda, caffeine, chocolate, excessive amounts of carbohydrates and sugar, acidic citrus fruits, and even alcohol. Everybody is different, so it is important to learn to listen to your body and how you feel when you consume these different food products. You may be able to either limit your consumption of them, or you may need to avoid them completely, at least temporarily. Tip number 2 is to eat smaller meals, but more frequently, and to remember to chew your food properly. Overeating can cause you to experience reflux symptoms due to excessive pressure that is placed on that lower esophageal sphincter. So while you are enjoying your food, just try to be mindful and to stop eating when you're like about 80% full. And properly chewing your food will make the digestion that occurs later on in the digestive tract run more smoothly. If you aren't chewing your food properly, then your digestive organs that see the food next have to work harder to digest it, both chemically and mechanically, in order for you to, be able to absorb the nutrients that are found in those food products. Tip number 3 is to avoid eating large meals close to your bedtime. The official time range that's recommended here is approximately 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Additionally, try not to lie down right after eating. You'll want to stay upright. The reason for that is because you want gravity on your side. If you are lying down, then there is a greater chance of your food content regurgitating back into the esophagus, even though it's not supposed to. I do think that if you want to have like a small snack right before you go to bed, like if you have nocturnal acid reflux, then that might be okay. The key here is just to listen to your body, and by doing so, over time, you'll learn what helps and what doesn't help your reflux. Tip number 4 is to consume foods that will support gut healing and healthy gut functioning. Now, I actually have a whole video dedicated to talking about this topic that I will link above for you to watch, but just to name a few, we have bone broth, there's vegetables and fruits. If you're having trouble digesting these, then you may want to try cooking them a little bit. So like steamed broccoli and cauliflower, or steamed apples or baked apples, that sort of thing. Cooking will cause some of their fiber to break down, and therefore making it a lot easier to digest them. Some other food products that are great are coconut products, so like coconut oil and coconut milk. These are helpful because they contain what's called medium chain triglycerides like lauric acid, and probiotic rich foods like yogurt are really important to eat to help maintain a healthy gut microbiome. You could take a probiotic supplement. Just make sure you check with your doctor or your pharmacist just to make sure that that will be okay for you. If you experience reflux after drinking really cold drinks like water or smoothies, then instead have them warm or at room temperature. Or if you're having a smoothie, then just don't add too much ice. Warm water and teas can be much more soothing on your gut than cold drinks are. Tip number 5 is to exercise and move your body regularly. Exercise is hugely beneficial for your gut health. It helps support proper motility of the contents in your gut so that you can have healthy bowel movements, but it also supports a healthy gut microbiome. Now, calming exercises may be easier for you to do if you are having trouble with acid reflux or other gut health disorders. So yoga and mild walking and stretching can be really good for that. Really vigorous and intense workouts can actually aggravate reflux symptoms, especially if you do them right after eating larger meals. So if you want to do a more moderate to high intensity workout, then just be sure to wait a couple of hours after eating just to ensure proper digestion. Again, everyone is different, so just make sure you listen to your body and plan your workouts from there. Tip number 6 is to find healthy ways to manage your stress. Emotional stress can be a huge reason why you are not digesting your food properly. Your gut directly communicates with your brain through the gut-brain axis, and emotional stress has the ability to disrupt your gut microbiome, which can cause numerous digestive and other organ system complications if not restored properly. It also has the ability to divert your nervous system from more of a relaxed state to more of a fight or flight state that is not well suited for proper and healthy digestion. Tip number 7 is about sleep. Not getting enough sleep can adversely affect reflux by enhancing the perception of acid in the esophagus and potentially by increasing esophageal acid exposure time. Now, on the other hand, I know that many people who deal with acid reflux and GERD have nocturnal symptoms that cause them to have trouble sleeping. So I recognize that this may be a hard tip to implement at first. So some tips that may help those who are having trouble sleeping due to having nocturnal reflux symptoms are establish and stick to a sleep schedule. Our bodies love schedules and routines, so try to go to bed and wake up at a similar time each day. Also, having a nighttime routine can be really useful to help you relax and unwind so that you can feel calm when you are trying to go to sleep. Having a good sleeping environment is also super important. So if you need to, you can remove anything from your bedroom that might distract or interrupt your sleep, like TVs, computers, bright lights, or noises. If you're having trouble sleeping, then don't just lie there. Get up and do a relaxing activity like reading a book until you feel tired, and then you can try to go back to sleep. And then the other tips that we have already talked about in this video, like food and exercise, can be really helpful here as well. Moving on to tip number 8. Now, I wanted to include this tip in this video because it is specifically mentioned within the management of GERD guidelines that is used by practitioners and other healthcare professionals within the medical field. And that is to lose weight if you are overweight or have had a recent weight gain. The reason for that is due to excessive amounts of pressure that is put onto that sphincter. Now, what's nice about this tip is that if you focus on the first couple tips that I have already mentioned in this video, then weight loss may occur effortlessly because you are changing up your diet and potentially exercising more than you might be currently. This isn't a tip that I would heavily focus on. Instead, I would focus more on consuming foods that will nourish and heal your gut, because by doing so, you will naturally crowd out other foods that contribute to weight gain or increased reflux symptoms. Additionally, focus on exercising and moving your body to help with your digestion and stress management, and over time you may see that you're losing weight without even trying. I don't recommend following any one particular restrictive diet. They typically do not work long term, and sadly many end up gaining more weight afterwards than they originally started out with. Tip number 9 is to stop smoking if you do smoke. The nicotine actually relaxes that esophageal sphincter and subsequently allows for stomach acid and other contents to reflux into your esophagus. Tip number 10 is to raise the head of your bed if you are experiencing nocturnal symptoms, okay? I am mentioning this tip because it is also noted in the GERD management guidelines, and you may hear it from your doctor or if you Google acid reflux on the web, okay? A couple of ways that you can do this is if you have like an adjustable bed that you can, click a button and electronically elevate the head of your bed. You can also sleep with a wedge pillow, which are typically made of foam and are a relatively inexpensive way in order to accomplish this tip. Or you can even use a bed riser, which are placed under the 2 bedposts at the head of your bed. Now, this may or may not be a practical tip for you. I do want to say, please do not hurt yourself trying to lift the 2 upper bedposts of your bed frame, okay? Additionally, I knew a patient that had nocturnal symptoms and was able to control it by just eating like a very small snack before they went to bed. So again, listen to your body and you'll learn what works for you and what doesn't. And the last tip, tip number 11, is to check your medications, and even your supplements for that matter, with your doctor or your pharmacist to see if any of them might be contributing to your acid reflux. There are several drugs out there that can affect your digestive tract, either directly in the way that they work or indirectly through side effects and other mechanisms. So I highly recommend checking what you take with them. Alrighty, you guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you got something out of today's video, then please give it a big thumbs up. Definitely helps me out. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying this type of content. You can also follow me on Instagram, and I will leave the link for that down below in the description box. Otherwise, that is all I have for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!